Namaste, everybody. This is Psychic Medium Robin from Spiritual Abundance, and I want to share with you some things and preparations that you need to begin with, especially going into the remainder of 2020 after everything that's happened this year. Regarding COVID-19, I'm going to just jump into it. I have been sitting on this for some time now. I'm waiting for my voice to return after my surgery. It is back, and it's great. And I know that COVID is a hot topic, and everyone has been asking for it. So um, let's just jump right into it and see where it takes us. Regarding COVID, I do see a decrease in numbers, contrary to what is being pushed out by the media. These numbers that they are portraying are not correct. They're not even remotely correct. And I mean, that's all I can say. I know there are those who are going to believe anything the media tells them. They will believe the numbers rather than a psychic. But I can tell you that the numbers are being manipulated, and they're being manipulated for several reasons. As I shared with you in one of our previous messages, the US comes to light in a number of um, areas regarding the election and the COVID and the undercover and those things I have shared in previous predictions. The first reason I feel like the media has portrayed incorrect numbers, or we are seeing incorrect numbers, is that the US has an election coming up and they want to sway the vote one way or the other. Has anyone actually stopped to look at the numbers and look at which country has the highest numbers? It doesn't take a rocket scientist or a mathematician whiz to figure that one out. The second reason being is I feel like there's a hidden agenda, and we're talking about people and key players here that have a hidden agenda regarding the United States election as well. The third thing is that a lot of these numbers are actually factoring in, and they're not going to tell you the actual flu cases versus coronavirus because they are similar flu strains, both of them, but they are different as well. But the total amount of infected daily and all of the pandemonium that is going on, it's all political and the numbers are not accurate. And we're going to start seeing in the month of August a lot more revelations regarding the deceit behind these numbers. It's going to come out in one way or another, whether it's through the media, one media source, because there are media sources. Not all media sources are bad or biased, but there are some out there that will not publish the truth, or that will publish the truth and the truth will come out. Not everything that is published in the media is true. A lot of it is construed or constrained a different way to gain ratings, to create fear, to keep people's attention hooked, because that's what the purpose of a lot of these publications and media houses is all about. That's their purpose, to sell fear, to have numbers, traffic into their sites, for people to subscribe to their Melakri and stuff like that. So again, that is what I'm seeing here. But I do feel like the numbers are going to gradually keep going down. The second wave, I believe what people don't realize is the second wave is already been here. The way that Spirit positioned it to me is that the first wave of the virus, when it initially hit, would have been from October to March 2020. That's October 2019 to March 2020. From April 2020 until now is construed as the second wave. But people are going to say that the second wave is in the latter part of the 2020, which is not accurate. But again, we are going to start seeing a lot of people waking up, people who have been spiritually asleep, and people believing these lies and fabrication that are going to realize what's being put out there in the media, and the fear that we're going to see a second wave in spring or fall in overseas, and it's going to be very scary, and we need another shutdown, etc. We've never seen this with any other virus out there. Not with AIDS or HIV, not with TB or tuberculosis, not with SARS, not with MERS, not with the N1H1 swine flu. We've seen many of those, and I've studied a number of them and made mention of some of them in my various channels. But I know that I have a number of new followers and subscribers, and I want to take this moment to thank all my followers and subscribers for following me. Again, I do please do not operate out of fear. Be aware of everything that is going on. I do see there's going to be some news surfacing about a vaccine in 2020, in August of 2020, which is this coming month. This is actually being recorded in mid-July because of my vocal surgery. But I do feel like Spirit is revealing either they have already got a vaccine, that they're going to try to experiment with a trial on a group of people, like a clinical trial, and they're going to experiment on certain people. But there's news about a new vaccine for those people who are interested in taking the vaccine route. Like I've said in my previous messages, I'm not one to push or sway you to take a vaccine or not. Personally, I don't believe in vaccines, and that's just my personal opinion and my own personal beliefs and my spiritual belief. But what I'm seeing is this vaccine is making the vaccine people think. They are in this mentality of that the vaccine is going to prevent you from catching COVID-19, which it is not the case. You can still catch it, and you're actually doing your body a disservice by putting a live or inactivated strain of that virus into your system. And so, with that itself, there are dangers, there are risks. Just by putting that strain into your body, with people not knowing about all the side effects of COVID, all the effects of COVID, I can't understand why anybody in their right mind would want to do that to their own body. Just like taking medications that are prescribed for somebody else, for example, they all have potential risks because everybody's body and chemistry is different. And I also will reiterate what I've said before. Before it was made known and was in the media, in a previous channeling, that certain blood types are more affected by this virus than others. For primarily A and ABs, and you're looking at these two blood types that would be more prone to seeing a more severe type of infection, flu-like symptoms that could lead to complications. Other blood types like O's and B's, I feel like those would not be as compromised as A's and AB. Again, this is just information that I've been given to all of you over the past, but I'm not a doctor, so this is not something like a diagnosis. I'm a medical intuitive, but again, there are limitations into what I can say on my channels and what I say, but and where I say it. But that's what I get. The surge in COVID-19 infections could slow down around October, I'm saying. I feel like South Africa, especially, our country's ability to curb the coronavirus and the rationality of some of the regulations put into place, we will see a change in about October. It could be a little bit earlier than that. I feel like South Africa will be over the worst by October or November. I've seen the predictions and the numbers. I'm not a maths whiz. I'm not a scientist. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a politician with my own hidden agendas. But my gut feel and what I'm getting from Spirit is, for lack of a better description, tells me that we're going to see a peak in the next couple of weeks. I'm getting the next 6 to 8 weeks, maybe 6 to 10 weeks. And I feel like we will probably plateau by September, and it'll be over the worst by October, November. Um, I feel like we will go into the new year with a relatively low rate of transmission. Um, Again, I don't feel like the numbers are accurate. I don't feel like they are being divulged to us correctly. Um, and whilst people are saying we can't clear the virus completely, um, I also feel like there are certain things that um, we are almost collaborating with to make it look like things are worse than they are. And I feel like this is a direct result of our government um, trying to exploit money from other countries um, in an attempt to line their own pockets. Um, I um, I feel like South Africa is currently on a simmering um, in a simmering mode. It's like we are simmering that hot frog, um, and I'm feeling like um, when the virus comes back, and I feel like it will come back around September, um, and we will peak again. That's when normality will come back, and we're going to see life resume a lot more normally than what we currently have. Um, I feel like there's going to be new protection measures put in place. I feel like there's still going to be some stupid rules implemented. I still feel like we are going to have the glorified um, politicians um, in it for their own um, demise. However, I'm feeling like something with Cyril Ramaphosa will surface late July or August. I'm seeing an agenda and distractions going on. I'm seeing something with his health and a number of the other ANC leaders, much of which will be firmly kept out of the media. Um, Around August, I'm feeling um, like around the world, not just in Africa, but around the world, the states I'm feeling, it could be Australia, I'm feeling the European countries. I want to say um, a terrorist attack, but I feel it could be a terrorist attack. But what Spirit reveals to me is that there's a kind of attack on some people that are out in the public. And this could be in the European or the African countries, or even in the Middle East. But there is some kind of unrest going on, um, going to, and that's going to rise up in August. It's something that is brewing. I feel like the US troops and soldiers are going to be on high alert. I feel like, and I don't feel like it's just about the elections. I feel like the US gets further into the elections. Places like Iran and Iraq, not necessarily that they hate the US, but certain criminal elements and organizations from there do. I feel like the same for South Africa. I feel like we've got those organizations right amongst us in South Africa, well positioned and strategically aligned. I feel like other countries also are seeing South Africa now currently as a weak country. Our governments are not aligned with the people. There's a huge segment of cultures hating other cultures. Starvation and survival of the fittest at this point, massive job losses, desperation, and I feel like certain criminal or communistic elements are going to use this time to pounce or strike while the iron is hot and attack. I don't feel like it's necessarily just other countries, but opportunists within South Africa. Climate wise, I'm seeing severe storms that hit early July as predicted earlier this year, but I feel like we're going to see huge climate changes coming um, August through to October. We're going to see climate changes, weather patterns, strange things occurring around the weather. Um, I feel like there could be cyclones or hurricane type weather hitting our coastal areas, snowfalls in areas that would not necessarily get snowfalls and things like that. On the weather side of things, I'm getting a huge warning on shark attacks, with sharks coming closer to the shores for some reason. People need to be really careful with the weather shifts, even in near-high waters. I feel these are massive, massive risk there. Namaste, everybody. This is Psychic Medium Robin from Spiritual Abundance, and I want to share with you some things and preparations that you need to begin with, especially going into the remainder of 2020 after everything that's happened this year. Regarding COVID-19, I'm going to just jump into it. I have been sitting on this for some time now. I'm waiting for my voice to return after my surgery. It is back, and it's great. And I know that COVID is a hot topic, and everyone has been asking for it. So um, let's just jump right into it and see where it takes us. Regarding COVID, I do see a decrease in numbers, contrary to what is being pushed out by the media. These numbers that they are portraying are not correct.